What do you get when you get me, butt naked in a room full of guys? A showdown, that's what. Be me in 2024. I was living my life as an underwhelming assistant teacher in Japan when suddenly my friends asked if I wanted to join a sumo wrestling tournament. Now I kind of waited for them to say some kind of joke or punchline because it doesn't take a whole lot to look at me and realize that I'm not exactly sumo material. But they were serious and assured me that I was going to be fine, because this would be a community-ran event that catered mostly to beginners. I was still kind of skeptical at first, but the thought of it seems pretty damn cool. Sumo's been one of those sports that seem interesting to do, but there's never really an opportunity to actually try it out. Legitimately, that is. You know, you can always go to the park at 3 AM with your buds, maybe with some beers in hand, and do a little bit of street sumo. What I'm trying to say is that opportunities like this don't really come up often, so fuck it, I signed up. Who knows, maybe I'll be one of those classic underdogs that wins the tournament in glorious fashion despite all odds. I didn't, but I'm happy to report that I did amazingly okay. Now for those of you that aren't familiar with sumo, I'll give you a brief rundown. It's Japan's national sport and it's been around for centuries at this point, with similar ties to wrestling. Not the WWE kind, but more so the Hispanics one. And on paper, it's pretty simple. You got two big boys duking it out in a ring called a dohyo, with the sole intention of getting the person out of the ring, or you can make their opponent touch the ground with any parts of their body other than the soles of their feet. Essentially, two men enter a ring, one leaves. You can push, slap, trip, or throw them out of the ring by grabbing their sumo belt. Unfortunately, you cannot punch, gouge, kick, pull their hair, or use weapons of any kind. Surprisingly, a lot you can't do, which kind of put a damper on my plans, as my initial strategy just wouldn't cut it. Now there's a lot more cultural and technical aspects of it that I'm leaving out, but that's pretty much the gist of it. This is a sport that requires both strength and mass, so it'd be pretty advantageous if you were big and tall. You'd be harder to move, and it'd be much easier for you to knock down an opponent. Which kinda sucks for me, because I'm both small and short. Clocking in at a monstrous 5'5", 130 pounds. 5'6" on Hinge. It's not really a great sign when you tell all your coworkers that you're gonna compete in a sumo tournament, only for them to laugh in your face. Yeah, laugh it up, chumps. You won't be laughing anymore when I win. So the odds were kind of stacked against me. I had only a couple months before the tournament to really bulk up and somehow grow 8 inches in height. Fortunately though, genetics aren't everything, as there are countless examples online of smaller sumo wrestlers toppling bigger opponents. They use size to their advantage and focus more on techniques that can offset the weight of their opponent, such as going in swiftly for a leg trip like this one here. So maybe if I focus more on the technical side of things, I'd have a much better shot at winning. There is just one problem though. How the fuck do I train for that? Like, I can increase my athletic ability by going to the gym or running, but it's not like there's a sumo dojo just like lying around anywhere. So what I resorted to was an ancient strategy used by males for engaging in any kind of combat. I'd imagine scenarios in my head, and then I would react to said scenarios. Most of my technique training was just me dicking around in my apartment, just making shit up, you know. It wasn't until like a day before the tournament where I actually got some useful tech from my friend Mengkin, who's been doing sumo for a long time and is actually competing in the sumo tournament too. He recommended that I do a leg lock technique, where I kind of wrap my leg around the inner part of my opponent's leg to kind of secure my weight and positioning. That way it'd be a lot harder for them to pick me up and throw me or drag me around or whatever. So after practicing that a couple times, I figured that, you know, this could be like my trump card or my ultimate hidden technique. Hold on to them and pray I don't go flying. So now we get to the day of the event, and I was ready as I possibly could be. All the scenarios that I imagined in my head had me absolutely dominating, so I had nothing to worry about. When I got to the venue with my friends, I was expecting to see like fucking tanks, but the other wrestlers weren't actually all that different in size. I mean, I was still the smallest one by a long shot, but you know, everyone else was just regular dudes looking to experience sumo. And after I talked to some of them, who were all very nice by the way, we were then called into the changing room, and here lied an unexpected obstacle. After seeing all these sumo videos, I failed to realize an integral part of the sport, which is the mawashi, aka the sumo belt. I don't know if any of you have ever worn a mawashi before, but it is by far the most uncomfortable piece of clothing I have ever worn in my 25 years of existing. The only way I can describe the feeling is, you know, imagine wearing a thong, made out of rope. The material used is very coarse and thick, and the back part felt like a rope digging into my ass. I mean, us wrestlers could opt wearing our underwear underneath the belt, but to me that looked kind of silly. You gotta full send it. So I opted to not wearing my underwear as some kind of like power move. That might have been a mistake because goddamn is it tight. To make sure it doesn't fall off during the match, you have to tighten that fucker because your balls literally depend on it. Sitting down was the worst part because between the belt and my asshole, there was literally no room for Jesus. And I just prayed that I wiped well before all this. After we changed into our thongs, we were let outside to do some warm-ups, drills, and practice matches. I don't have videos of this, but I do have a lot of pictures, especially of this one with my cheeks out. Nothing really notable happened here, except for the fact that every practice match that I did, I lost every single one. Now to be fair, I was still trying to figure out the ropes, but this was a big reality check of what a sumo match actually feels like. People that are familiar with sumo know just how quick a regular match can be, lasting anywhere between 5 minutes to 5 seconds, with the latter being a lot more common, I would say. It's a quick, high burst sport, and if you're not ready to put everything on the line within the first second, you already lost. And I, for one, was not ready. And this started affecting my mental game too. I started questioning myself like, oh my god, is this foreshadowing for what's to come? Will I even make it past the first round? Will my penis fall out? But before I can mull over it further, the tournament officially started. Since this is a for fun event, the tournament was organized so that the wrestlers could get as many matches as possible. It was set up round robin style, starting off with 4 groups of 4. Everyone in their own individual groups would wrestle each other, and the top 2 that won the most would advance to the next round. Fortunately for me, one person in my group dropped out, meaning that only one person would be eliminated and the 2 would advance. But I would need at least 1 win. After introducing all the wrestlers, my first match officially started as the organizers announced my sumo wrestler name over the speakers. I forgot to mention that prior to this event, we were supposed to send the event organizers a picture of ourselves, a sumo wrestler name, and a catchphrase so they can put it on a big poster. So I thought it'd be pretty funny if I named myself the 167 centimeter demon, or the 5'6" demon. As for my catchphrase, I first submitted, I'm the Otani Shohei of shitting in public toilets. I thought that was pretty funny. The event organizers did not find it funny, and they had me change it to something different as it was a family-friendly event. And that's fine by me, not a big deal. So I changed it to, I'm the Otani Shohei of violently peeing in water bottles. Again, they did not find it funny, and it seemed like they were getting kind of pissed off at me in the emails, which is fair. And so I submitted a third catchphrase, and my poster turned out like this. Beautiful. Anyways, back to the first match. My first opponent was against a guy named Gilbert. Now Gilbert was a little bit bigger than me in both size and height, but I wasn't too worried about that. I was more so focused on what I can do and my new and improved game plan. We both stepped inside the ring, took our stances, and we started. Okay, so I lost. I clearly forgot my game plan, which was to win. However, my first match wasn't over, because after I got toppled, the judges seemed to have a bit of a disagreement. Apparently, there seemed to be some discrepancy over what happened first, me falling over or my opponent stepping out of the ring. To be honest, I couldn't really understand what was being said per se, because there's a lot of technical stuff that I just didn't understand, but I kind of knew what was happening still. I'm pretty sure I lost, but the judge that made the most noise was actually my friend Mengkin. And if you don't remember, he was the one that taught me how to do the leg lock thing in the beginning. And I'm pretty sure he was just gaslighting the other judges to rule in favor of me because he wanted me to play more matches. No one really questioned him because he's kind of a credible figure in that community, and he successfully garnered enough confusion for the other judges to call for a rematch. And I'm happy to say that things went a little differently. Yeah, that's right, your boy was victorious. I was able to do my famous leg lock technique to keep my position and secure the W. I mean, I technically cheated, or I guess my friend cheated on my behalf, but you know what, I'll take what I can get. I do feel sorry for Gilbert though, because he won that fair and square, and it turns out he's actually a really cool guy. So, I'm sorry Gilbert, you got robbed. But with one win under my thong, I was feeling pretty hot. But I couldn't rest too much though, because my next match was immediately after. And my next opponent was, oh shit. I believe my next opponent's name was Adam. Adam was about 1,000 times my size, and actually looked like a legitimate sumo wrestler. This next match went exactly how we all thought it would. I mean, this wasn't even a match. Like, I just got tossed around like a salad, dude. Like, what can I do except pray for my life? He was coming at me like a goddamn truck, and I was just sitting there staring at him like a small child. Even with that loss, I still managed to squeak by and advance to the next part of the tournament, which was another round of round robins, meaning that I get to wrestle against 3 more people, and the top 2 would advance to the semifinals. Unfortunately, my next 2 matches were very similar in how they played out. My third opponent was against my friend Jackson. My game plan against him was very simple. I was going to use my famous leg lock technique to kind of secure my position early and maybe kind of tire him out, and then once he's tuckered out, I'd use my big strong muscles and throw him out of the ring. Unfortunately, he was very ready. To break down what happened, let's, do the instant replay. So at the start of the match, he pushed me, causing me to go off balance, and it messed up my leg positioning. He kept up the pressure, and then when I tried to retaliate, I was off balance and used that opportunity to throw me. Had I played more defensively, I might have had a better chance, but that was just an L for me. Next round. My fourth opponent was against my friend Luke. I don't know what happened in this match, but my brain just turned off. I think it has something to do with the fact that it's my friend Luke, and he's a fucking idiot, so I also just went full idiot. I knew Luke was stronger than me, but I just wanted to see if I can outstrength him. Mind you, Luke goes to the gym a lot more than me. He is thicker, he is stronger, and he has a wrestling background. But, I just went full fucking ape brain. So yeah, I just got strength checked pretty hard as he literally escorted me out of the ring like I'm a princess. Really no excuses for what happened in these last 2 matches. I just got outplayed. I played like an idiot. Who knows, might have been karma for cheating in that first round, but yeah. My 5th and final match is where things get interesting though, because although I did get tossed, I somehow managed to win. I also forgot my opponent's name, because at this point, I think I hit my head a little bit too hard on some of the other matches, and I think I got a slight concussion. But, but he's a cool guy too. Let's see what happens. If you didn't catch that, I'll slow it down a little bit for you. Right before my ass hit the ground, my opponent actually stepped out of the ring first, which gave me the win. That was something that was common in some of the other matches. Someone would step outside of the ring first, or their hand would hit the ground before their opponent that got tossed hit the ground. That would result in their loss, basically. But for me, I got my 2nd win of the day. And this is where my iconic run ends, because unfortunately, I did not secure enough wins to advance to the semifinals, but fortunately, all my friends did. And Adam, the guy that I faced off in the 2nd round, actually went on to win the tournament, winning it over my friend Mengkin, who also made it to the finals. Big ups Adam. Although I didn't win the tournament in glorious fashion, I still had a lot of fun. I managed to secure 2 wins, which I think is an achievement within itself, no? Kind of big. I mean, granted, I did get one because I cheated kinda, and then the other one due to technicality, but you know what, I'll take it. I'm sure I inspired the sumo spirit in many of you with my amazing tale, but first I want to give some shoutouts. This particular tournament was ran by the charity Akita Group, which is based in Akita, Japan. If you're ever in the area, please go support them, maybe kiss them on the cheek. And if you're interested in sumo further, I'm gonna link some channels and some videos that will do the sport a lot more justice than what I did. Please consider checking those out as well. And if you want to try sumo out for yourselves, consider looking into your local community for some sumo clubs or organizations. If there's none, you can always start your own. It's really easy. All you need is yourself, some buddies, maybe some beers, and a place. Happy sumoing!